right? If someone says, oh, why are you trying to act like you're confident, you're really insecure, and they point out something, stop trying to pretend like this isn't the case, for you to be like, no, I'm completely confident. I don't know what you're talking about. It just appears that I'm insecure because whatever, and making up some kind of excuse, that's just delusions. It's better to acknowledge and say, yeah, it's something, but that's not who I am.
I have long conversations about people talking to me saying I have an ego. And I say, the most successful people I've ever met have huge egos. There's nothing wrong with thinking, you know what, if this is the only body I'm going to inhibit, if this is my only chance at consciousness, I may as well love who I am and what I have. What's the point in hating myself? This is it, I have guys come to me and they say, how do I get girls when I'm short? I say, the same way you get them when you're tall. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? This is your avatar. This is what you got to love yourself and be proud of yourself. I'm not saying be a dickhead. I'm not saying be a bad person. But if you need to have a healthy ego, you have to have enough masculine energy to think, no, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do this. I'm not settling for this. I deserve more, etc., etc., etc. This stems from ego. There's nothing wrong with that.
I feel invincible. I feel like I could do anything, that I could take on any challenge. I have a pretty high estimation of myself. That's not a bad thing. Too many people have too much of a low estimation of themselves, or they have a fake estimation of themselves. And see, here's the thing.
Two mindsets, right? There's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. Now, the fixed mindset says something like, I am unbelievably bad at math. The growth mindset says, I could become better at math. My skill in math is at a low level right now. You're bad at math right now, perhaps. Okay, fine, I will give you that. But you are like the scrawny kid in the gym who hasn't lifted any weights and is saying, I suck at lifting weights. Wah, wah, wah. No.
When you're super confident, when you believe in yourself, when you feel like you have a semi-charmed life, when you're a narcissist, I suppose, you know it. You know the shit. You know you're the shit. It's amazing. It's great. I'm the shit. It's awesome. I love being the shit. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, you can deceive yourself, but if I'm going to deceive myself, I'm going to deceive myself in the direction of being the shit versus being shit. Because if I deceive myself into the direction of being the shit, yeah, I'm gonna have a few hard falls. Yeah, I'm gonna get knocked down a peg from time to time, but I'm gonna swing at the pitches. I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna do things that I might not have done before. And this is good. It's good to jump into the pool and to drown sometimes or have a near-death experience.
People always say I have delusions of grandeur, and I'm like, yes, of course I have delusions of grandeur, and I want all of you to have delusions of grandeur because the opposite is so destructive. If you think less of yourself, then the bar is so low, you could just hop over that shit. You're not going to ever grow. But if I have delusions of grandeur, if I think I'm greater than I am, then I have to live up to that shit every day. Sometimes, some days, I'm like, oh shit, I spoke all this shit, and now I got to live up to that shit, and then I do, you know what I mean? That's what makes you grow and be stronger. So yeah, ego is important. You got to have delusions of grandeur in life. Otherwise, you're going to be less. You got to do the walk to back up your talk. And so you got to talk big so that you walk big. It forces you down that path.
100%, man. An ego that you're constantly working hard to justify is a superpower. It's a superpower. Like, this was the whole basis of nearly all my achievements. I deserve a Lambo. Why, Andrew? You're from a single mother, you're growing up in social housing, and you're broke and you don't have a car. Why do you deserve a Lambo? Because I'm me and I deserve a Lambo. Here I am, I have two. Because I truly believe I deserved it. And I was like, I'm gonna find a way to get one. I remember I was walking to college with 3 of my friends and a Ferrari drove past us. It was like 8 in the morning. And I said to my friends, doesn't that piss you off? And my friends go, what do you mean? I was like, we're going to college and we're gonna learn from some professor who's making a little bit of money. And I'm broke, I ain't got anything. This dude has 400 grand for a car. Doesn't it make you realize there's something in the matrix we're missing? Doesn't that anger you? Like, don't you feel like a second-class citizen? And they're all like, well, it's only a car. So you can't see beyond. You don't see any of what's truly happening. This guy driving past us is a huge you to everybody who can't buy one. Don't you want that? Oh, well, you know, it's just a car. Oop-a-doop-a-doo. And these are the sheep people. These are the slave people. Put on your mask. It's just a car. But if you have enough ego, you can be like me and go, no, I will be that guy in that car because I believe I deserve. It's believing in yourself and it's believing you deserve these things. A lot of people don't believe they deserve shit.
100%.
And that's why they haven't got shit.
And again, I am all about looking in the mirror closely and having an accurate representation of yourself, seeing reality as clearly as possible.
Don't kid yourself and think you're in great shape when you're overweight. Don't kid yourself and think that you are good with women, that you have extreme level of confidence when you don't even talk to them.
You should look in the mirror. You should honestly evaluate, what do you look like? Are you fat? Are you short? Do you look like a freaking retard? Are you dumb? Do you have a temper? Honestly evaluate those things in the present moment.
From a non-judgmental place. This is just where it is. This is where the pieces on the chessboard are. I don't care. It doesn't upset me. It is what it is. Maybe it's not where I want them to be, but that's where they are. And it's hard sometimes because a lot of times we'll lie to ourselves. We'll make justifications. So for example, a lot of guys that I coach, they're like, oh yeah, I'm actually really good with women. I don't have any problem talking to women at all. I just never really feel like it. Or I don't really like going to bars or nightclubs, or I don't really like talking to women in Starbucks. And it's like they have a list of every place that they don't like to. So I'm like, so when do you actually do this? And in their head, they've justified and said, well, if I really wanted to, I could do it. It's like being an armchair quarterback. It's like, if I really wanted to, I could be an Olympic athlete. If I really wanted to, I could pick up chicks. If I really wanted to, I could make a lot of money. That's all bullshitting yourself. That's not healthy. That's not good. You have to look at the reality of what it is. It's not identifying who you are. It's just saying what's happened. Because it's important to not deny it, right? If someone says, oh, why are you trying to act like you're confident, you're really insecure, and they point out something, stop trying to pretend like this isn't the case. For you to be like, no, I'm completely confident. I don't know what you're talking about. It just appears that I'm insecure because whatever, and making up some kind of excuse, that's just delusions. It's better to acknowledge and say, yeah, it's something that I've struggled with, but that's not who I am. And that's kind of the vision that you have to have for it. But then the other part of it becomes your ability to play the game, that you can win, that you can succeed. That is what you don't doubt. That's where you have, if anything, the delusions of grandeur. When I talk about having delusions of grandeur, it's not sitting at your computer playing World of Warcraft all day and then saying, oh, I'm a stud, like I'm a lady killer and I'm so much smarter than everyone else. That's just delusional. Delusions of grandeur is holding yourself to a higher standard. For example, when I was doing the ultra running, my delusions of grandeur was I am an ultra runner. I can run for miles and miles and I'm tough as nails and I can deal with any kind of obstacle that comes my way and I can just keep on running no matter how tired I am, how much pain I'm in. I'm a machine. That was my delusions of grandeur. Now, obviously, there's some point in which I will give up. Obviously, there's some point in which I will break. But my delusions of grandeur is that there's nothing that can stop me. I'm unstoppable and that I'll never quit and that I'll always go forward. I'll never give up. That's a standard that I held myself that pulled me in that direction. If I come into a workout and I'm like, I'm unstoppable, I'm a badass, I go until I drop. I'm the hardest working person in this room. Again, that might not necessarily be true. It might be a delusion of grandeur, but I'm going to perform like that's the case because I want to prove that to myself and to everyone because that's what I am choosing to believe. That's how it becomes valuable. Let's take a situation in game or pickup, going out to a bar to meet women or something. The vision that I'll have the guy have in his head or that I have in my own head is that I'm a stud. I'm awesome. I am the man here, right? Because of that, now I must prove it by doing the things that a guy that's fearless would do, right? If I come into a bar and I'm gonna go talk to girls and I have this delusion of grandeur in my head that I am fearless, then that is propelling me now to take the action of, well, if I said I'm fearless, then I must act fearless. So I'm acting this way now because I have this delusion in my head. So I'm meeting that standard. In fact, when I was first doing dating coaching, if you're going to do live coaching with guys, like take them out to Vegas or something and teach them how to pick up girls, you have to do it the first time. There has to be a first time that you do. There has to be some point where you've never done this before. You've done it yourself, but you've never coached anyone before. And now you're coaching them, right? So I had that experience. In my mind, I was like, these people are paying me money. I have to be the man. So I had this very high standard for myself. I'm like, I can't let these guys down. So I performed better than I would on my own, better than I knew I could perform because I had that high standard that pushed me toward it because I'm the coach now. People are paying me to coach them. You see what I'm saying? So that's a high standard that I had for myself. In my mind, I psyched it up like I'm this badass that can do this kind of shit. And so I did it because I had held myself to that standard instead of questioning it, instead of doubting, can I do this? No, I can do this. I am this guy. And so I must do this thing because this is who I am. This is what I'm made of. Again, being honest where the pieces are on the board, because you don't want to be a fraud. To be a fraud is to represent something that you know is not true. That's a totally different thing than setting a standard for yourself. So let's take even that one instance of the guy that's playing World of Warcraft all day in his mom's basement. And he's like, I could pick up chicks if I want to. I'm actually really good with women. I'm a ladies' man. That's a justification. He's like, I don't want to. Instead, you could flip that exact thing and be like, look, right now I'm acting like a loser. I'm sitting here playing World of Warcraft. I'm not going out and taking action, but I am an actual stud. That's what I am. That's what I am internally. That's who I am. And I'm the kind of guy that just doesn't give up and goes after what he wants and will go out there and talk to whoever he wants to. And that's who I am. So then because you have that vision of yourself, you now get up off your chair and you go out and you actually go and do it because you have that vision of yourself. And part of that vision of yourself says, no matter what happens, no matter how much rejection I face, I still keep on trying and I still keep on going because that's the stud of a man that I am. In some sense, that's a delusion of grandeur, but you make it become true because it's a standard that you have for yourself that brings you up, as opposed to a justification that says you don't need to do the action because you're already awesome. A standard says you are awesome, so you must do this because this is what awesome people do. That's the key. One is pushing you, the other is pulling you. One is saying, oh, you don't need to do it because you're already the man. You're lying to yourself. Yeah. The other one says, because you're the man, you need to fucking do it and act like the fucking man because you're a man, so you do what a fucking man does.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you watch this video next. Using delusions of grandeur to pull yourself up to a higher standard is essential for success, but it drives me nuts to see so many driven, hardworking guys still not getting anywhere in life because they don't understand this. Don't let that be you. Talk soon.